Strawberry Hill was as quaint as its name, a town cradled by pine forests and a glassy lake. Picture perfect, peaceful, at least on the surface. On the school bus sat a boy named Victor Grimmeth. 6 schools in 3 years, 5 expulsions. This was his last chance. One mistake, and it was straight to juvenile detention. Strawberry High was supposed to be his fresh start. He could see it already. Friends, graduation, a new life. All he had to do was behave. But life had other plans. On his way into school, he saw it. A group of bullies picking on a smaller kid. Everyone else walked past, but Victor stopped. The judge's warning echoed in his head. One more fight, and he was finished.
One more fight, one more expulsion, and you're going to juvie.
He almost walked away. Almost. But that wasn't Victor Grimmeth. He tried to stop the bullies, but it turned into a fight. The principal took one look at his record, and just like that, he was expelled again. Victor Grimmeth, 17 years old, no parents, a lifetime in foster care, 6 expulsions. And like today, none of them were his fault, but no one ever believed him. His 6th expulsion. Another fresh start destroyed, all because he tried to do the right thing. Crazy as it was, he wasn't angry, just disappointed in the world, yet again. The red car belonged to his social worker, Nancy. She'd found him quickly.
This is it. You've really screwed up this time.
He tried to explain what had happened, but she wouldn't listen. She brought him to the foster house he was going to stay at until the judge decided what to do with him, whether or not he was going to be sent to juvenile detention.
You're really gonna leave me here?
Nancy snapped that no one else would take him, that he should be lucky it wasn't a prison cell. The door swung open. His new foster mother, Mrs. Greer, towered over them, stern, scowling, with no kindness in her eyes. The house behind her smelled of rot and neglect. She led them upstairs to a filthy room with only 2 beds for 4 boys, and told Victor he'd be sleeping on the floor. Victor begged Nancy one last time not to leave him here, but she did. She left. Alone in the room, he sat on one of the beds. Here, he reached for the only comfort he knew, a silver necklace in the shape of a crystal star. It was the only thing his parents left him. He held it tight.
What are you doing?
Mrs. Greer's shrill voice snapped from the doorway. She scolded him for sitting on the bed, saying she didn't want him to dirty it. Victor tried to listen, but he was distracted. The necklace in his hand. It suddenly felt hot. It kept growing hotter until it felt like it was burning. But as soon as Mrs. Greer told him to follow her and left, it cooled. He was stunned. He thought he must be losing it. The stress of the expulsion, of being dumped here, of not knowing if they would send him to juvenile detention. Maybe it had all been too much. Convinced he was seeing things, he tucked the necklace back under his shirt and followed Mrs. Greer into the hallway. From here, Victor's real troubles began. Mrs. Greer shoved him into the attic, saying this was where he'd stay, away from the other foster kids, so he wouldn't corrupt them. That night, he barely slept. He thought about running, the way he always had from homes like this. But if he did, juvie was waiting. The next morning, he was given nothing but leftovers, forced to scrub the dishes. When he tried to shower, she screamed at him for wasting her water. By nightfall, her friends had gathered. Victor heard her mocking him in the living room. A violent boy who couldn't be saved, she called him. Something inside him broke. He grabbed his things and made for the door. But Mrs. Greer got there first. She shoved him back, pinning him down as she shouted for her friends' help. One of them brought her shotgun. Victor froze as Mrs. Greer leveled the barrel at his chest, as she yelled at her friends to call the police. As for what happened next, juvenile detention was about to be the least of his problems.